Hi, I'm architect Adwitha Suvarna. I'm one of the architects and the partners at Collage Architecture Studio, Bangalore. Today I'll be taking you through one of our projects which is Rohan Nidita. It is located in Hinjewadi, which is one of the sprawling suburbs of Pune. It has a high concentration of business parks and tech companies. So that is the clientele that we are looking forward to occupying the project, and that was a brief given to us by Rohan that they wanted us to design a space which would be homes to the people who are working in these business parks and these tech companies. So coming to the site is located on a parcel of land which is about 3.5 acres, and the shape of the site was kind of irregular. So it had a road which was quite a wide road, about 32 meters, which cut across the site along its eastern boundary and formed a sharp angle. So the entry point into the site is from the southern side of that eastern boundary. And what we try to do is to regularize the shape of the site, and to increase the usability of the site, we used the most irregular corner, which was the northeast corner, to house the mandatory open spaces, amenity spaces and other activities like the service buildings. And so we were left with a land parcel which was fairly regular in shape for us to design the rest of the block. So in terms of orientation of the building, it was designed based on certain climatic studies that we did based on optimum daylighting analysis, solar shading, and also considering the mandatory 12-meter setbacks and other passive design strategies that we wanted to use while incorporating the site. So what this translates to in terms of planning is almost like a T-shaped building footprint. So what this allows us is like we were able to maximize on openings towards the north and the east, and we were able to minimize and reduce the openings towards the western side and keep that almost blank. So what this allowed us to do was to avoid heat gain, and it also allows for the wind to seep in and move through the entire building. So with this T-shaped building footprint, what we were also able to achieve was the fact that almost all the 488 units of Rohan Nidita face into an expansive green space, and there is absolutely no overlooking of any kind between any of the two buildings. So nothing faces one another, which is one of the most important aspects while designing like urban homes. So another one of the key strategies that we wanted to explore was to completely separate out the vehicular movement and the pedestrian movement, which we thought was very important in a project like this. So we wanted a space which was completely owned by the pedestrian, and where they could be completely free, which was quite necessary in this post-COVID era. What we wanted to do was to elevate the entire ground plane and take it completely up and create a lush green landscape pavilion at the upper ground level. And what we also wanted was a transition between the lower ground to the upper ground to be completely seamless. So how we were able to achieve this was we designed this series of these large steps adjoining these cascading landscape terraces, which seamlessly moved up as you moved across the stairs. So basically what I'm trying to say is the user and the landscape both seamlessly move up to the upper level. So these terraces are kind of organic shaped and fluid form in nature, and they rise along with the steps. So what this does is creates a completely unique user experience for the person who's climbing up. So the landscape moves along with the eye level of the person who's also traveling up to the upper level. So once you come up the steps of this podium, you come up and you discover this large expansive podium which is like completely lush green, where the building, which is like a high-rise, almost disappears and all you see is green. So this forms like the soul of the project, and I will just take you through how we were able to achieve this. So in terms of planning, since we arrived at the T-shaped structure, basically the green pockets gets divided into three large landscape pockets. The first one is oriented towards the east, and it has the cascading terraces that we spoke about, the swimming pools and the decks. The second pocket is oriented towards the west, and it has the amphitheater, the kids play area and the herb gardens. And the third pocket is oriented towards the north, and it has the clubhouses and other landscape activities. So what we essentially wanted to do was completely connect these three green pockets and create a large seamless green space which would function as one large urban plaza or pavilion. So how we were able to achieve this was we deleted couple of units at the lower level, and what this allowed us to do was create these large double and triple height volumes where you walk under and you discover again this plaza where you have all these activities, and it forms almost like a large community space where people can come, gather and celebrate. So in terms of this urban plaza that we have created, so the attempt was in this post-COVID era to create a space for the community where it becomes a place where the community gathers. So it's like a generous shared space which sometimes becomes walkways and sometimes becomes places of leisure, and it also adds to the sustainability factor of the entire complex because it offers different kinds of spaces. So if you want to enjoy the morning sun, you have the eastern side opens up to the swimming pools and the decks and the terrace gardens where you can come and enjoy the morning sun. And towards the evening and the afternoon, the western side is completely shaded and it has all these shaded landscape elements that you can use. So it adds to the sustainability factor of the complex as well. And it's a very important point of community building and community living. It basically is the catalyst for community building. So the complex basically is designed as 4 separate towers. Now each of these towers has its own separate cores which consists of 4 lifts and 2 staircases. The lift lobbies are designed to look outwards and they open out into this light-filled airy corridors. So you don't need to switch on any kind of lights in the corridors or in the common areas as well as inside the house. So the buildings are also designed to capture the wind by creating these areas of differential pressure where we allow the wind to flow through the building through the Venturi effect. So this creates that movement of wind through and through the entire built form, which also helps to completely ventilate each and every area of the building. The plus home concept, which is a very unique USP of all Rohan projects. So in terms of planning, every square inch of space is well utilized and there are no dead spaces or dead corners. It is perfectly ventilated and these are spaces which are filled with light, and so you don't need to switch on any light almost till 6 o'clock in the evening. In every apartment in Rohan, we value privacy, so every apartment is designed with utmost privacy. Keeping that into account, all the windows and the balconies are articulated in such a way that there is absolutely no overlooking between one apartment to the other, and it is when you can open your windows and experience the green of the project rather than overlooking any other neighbors or seeing anybody else. So all you see when you open the windows is an expansive green space. Since it's a high-rise tower, the facade of the building was designed to express the verticality of the tower. So we have these vertical elements that run through and through the entire height of the building, and these get broken down in certain strategic locations horizontally in the form of these long landscaped large terrace spaces. So what this does is it unifies the facade and it scales down the massing. So the balconies, the windows and the shading devices are all articulated in such a way as to form like an engaging pattern visually on the facade to give the building a striking presence on the Pune skyline.